and welcome. You're watching DD India with me Akshay Dongre, and this is a special series on 11 years of Modi government and how the policies of this government have helped transform India from a regional player to a global powerhouse. From the cutting edge technology of Rafale to indigenous capabilities of INS Vikrant, from vaccine Maitri to taking people out of active war zones, from leading the global south to hosting one of the world's most successful G20 summit. This is the story of a new India, bold, self-reliant, unapologetic and commanding respect worldwide. Let's take a look at this report. From the precision of Operation Sindoor to hosting the G20, from INS Vikrant's might to vaccine diplomacy saving millions, from Rafale jets dominating the skies to Chandrayaan 2's lunar triumph, from evacuating citizens from war zones to leading the global south. 11 years of Modi government have transformed India into a global powerhouse. With a $4 trillion economy and a defense budget of over 6.85 lakh crore rupees, India's rise is unstoppable. Defense exports have surged over 300% to 90 countries, while diplomacy has redefined India's global role. This is the story of a new India, bold, self-reliant and commanding respect worldwide. The Modi government's defense revolution anchored in Aatmanirbhar Bharat has made India a self-reliant military power. The 2014 Make in India initiative slashed import reliance, boosting indigenous production. Foreign direct investment in defense rose to 74%, attracting global expertise. Over 5,000 companies now fuel defense innovation, with exports soaring to over 90 countries. Operation Sindoor, launched on May 7, 2025, showcased India's military precision. Responding to April 22 Pahalgam terror attack that killed 26, India struck 9 terror camps in Pakistan and POK, neutralizing over 100 terrorists. Rafale jets with Scalp missiles, BrahMos cruise missiles and indigenous drone decimated targets, while the Akash Tir air defense system drowned Pakistani attacks, including drones and missiles.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर न्याय की अखंड प्रतिज्ञा है। 6 मई की देर रात, 7 मई की सुबह पूरी दुनिया ने इस प्रतिज्ञा को परिणाम में बदलते देखा है। भारत की सेनाओं ने पाकिस्तान में आतंक के ठिकानों पर, उनके ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स पर सटीक प्रहार किया। आतंकियों ने सपने में भी नहीं सोचा था कि भारत इतना बड़ा फैसला ले सकता है।
The Operation Sindoor, which shook roots of Pakistani terror infrastructure and gave a bloody nose to Pakistan's armed forces, showcased the culmination of years of armed forces indigenization and enhanced joint military cooperation. The success of Operation Sindoor was underpinned by India's Aatmanirbhar Bharat initiative, which boosted indigenous defense capabilities of India, with majority of defense equipment in Indian armed forces now domestically produced, including kamikaze drones and BrahMos missiles.
पूरे देश की जनता ने मेक इन इंडिया अभियान की सफलता को देखा, समझा और उसे महसूस किया है। आज यह साबित हो चुका है कि मेक इन इंडिया भारत की सिक्योरिटी और प्रॉस्पेरिटी दोनों के लिए बेहद जरूरी है।
The rapid modernization initiated by the Modi government enabled precision, high-impact strikes and minimizing collateral damage. The operation also highlighted an astounding result of Modi government's push towards joint theaterization, resulting in seamless jointness among the Army, Navy and the Air Force, which coordinated efforts involving Rafale jets, S-400 Akash air defense systems and naval deployments in the Arabian Sea. This synergy also allowed real-time intelligence sharing and multi-domain operations, overwhelming Pakistan's defences. By striking deep into Pakistan's heartland and neutralizing retaliatory drone attacks, India redefined deterrence, exposing Pakistan's vulnerabilities. Operation Sindoor's strategic clarity and technological edge underscored India's military transformation, establishing a new paradigm for limited, high-impact warfare. The push by Modi government in rapid modernization and indigenization of armed forces resulted in India becoming the fourth most powerful nation according to Global Firepower Index. This is a result of years of efforts which include the induction of INS Vikrant in 2022. India's first homegrown aircraft carrier was a game changer. Built for 23,000 crore rupees, India got an entry into a club of a select few elite countries with the capability of manufacturing an aircraft carrier from the scratch. The Navy's 75% indigenization by 2025 reflects major achievements towards self-reliance. The 2022 induction of 36 Rafale jets from France modernized the Indian Air Force. Their role in Operation Sindoor using hammer and scalp missiles proved their worth. The $3 billion deal for 31 MQ-9B Predator drones from the US, including 15 Sea Guardian drones, has enhanced surveillance and strike capabilities of the Indian Armed Forces.
Technology is coming in a big way in our warfare now, and Op Sindoor has again given us clear idea of where we are headed and what we need in future. Air Force is trying its best to do maximum possible as far as Make in India is concerned, MAKE program, IDEX program, the number of orders that have been given to the Indian industry. There are a lot of opportunities that we have within India, and now also the current situation in the world has made us realize that Aatmanirbhar is the only solution.
Joint collaboration have driven innovation. The Indo-Russian BrahMos missiles exported to Philippines evaded Pakistani defenses in Operation Sindoor. Partnerships with US for Apache helicopters and France for Rafale technology have boosted local production. The strategic partnership model and HAL's 48,000 crore contract for 83 Tejas Mark 1A fighters underscored indigenous growth. The Government of India has also implemented a strategy to make India a global defence manufacturer and exporter in a report by Confederation of Indian Industry. Defence budget projection. Current defence budget 6.81 lakh crore, projected by 2047 31.7 lakh crore, an increase of nearly 5 times, reflecting a significant long-term commitment to defence capability enhancements. Domestic defence production. Current domestic defence production 1.46 lakh crore, projected by 2047 8.8 lakh crore, an increase of over 6 times, aiming to reinforce self-reliance and reducing import dependency. Defence exports. Current defence export is 24,000 crore rupees, projected by 2047 is 2.8 lakh crore rupees, an increase of nearly 12 times, positioning India as a global defence exporter. Research and development allocation. Current share of the budget 4%, target share by 2047 8 to 10%, indicating a shift toward innovation-led growth and indigenous technology development. Defence expenditure as share of GDP. The current defence expenditure is 2% of the Indian GDP. The projection for 2047 is 4 to 5% of the total GDP, suggesting greater strategic prioritization of defence in national economic planning. Strategic implementation timeline. Short term, foundation building, policy push for indigenous procurement and private sector participation. Medium term, expansion of industrial capabilities, enhanced R&D ecosystem. The long-term strategic implementation timeline suggests a global competitiveness, high-tech warfare capabilities and leadership in defense exports. The strategic vision includes self-reliance in defense manufacturing, leadership in next-gen military technology and becoming a top global arms exporter. While strengthening defense can give you deterrence, offensive capabilities, and protection from adversaries, but to expand your influence worldwide, you need a strong foreign policy, and that has been at the heart of Modi government's 11 years of vision. The country has seen its foreign policy redefine itself on the world stage, bold, strategic, and unapologetically Indian. This is the story of New India and its foreign policy, and how it has been building bridges, mending ties, forming new alliances, and shaping the global order. The Modi government's foreign policy began with a clear priority: strengthening ties with India's immediate neighbors. The Neighborhood First policy, launched in 2014, revitalized relations across South Asia. From resolving the long-standing land boundary agreement with Bangladesh to deepening energy partnership with Bhutan, India has fostered trust and cooperation. PM Modi's visits to Nepal since 2014, the first bilateral visit by an Indian Prime Minister in 17 years, revived cultural and economic ties. The Neighborhood First policy has made India the region's anchor, fostering goodwill and countering external influences. In 2023, India hosted the G20 summit, a diplomatic masterstroke that showcased its abilities to bridge global divides.
G20 लीडर्स समिट डिक्लेरेशन पर सहमति बनी है.
Against the backdrop of Russia-Ukraine conflict, India crafted a consensus leaders declaration on day one, a feat many thought impossible. India's presidency also amplified the voice of the Global South with the African Union's inclusion as permanent G20 member. This was PM Modi's vision of Vishwamitra, India as a friend of the world. The summit elevated India's global stature, proving its diplomatic finesse on the world's biggest stage.
वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की भावना से एकजुट होकर वैश्विक शांति, स्थिरता और समृद्धि का मार्ग प्रशस्त करेंगे. ग्लोबल साउथ की अपेक्षाओं के लिए काम करते रहेंगे. हम फूड सिक्योरिटी, हेल्थ सिक्योरिटी और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को प्राथमिकता देंगे. मल्टीलेटरल डेवलपमेंट बैंक्स और ग्लोबल गवर्नेंस में सुधार की तरफ जरूर बढ़ेंगे. क्लाइमेट एक्शन के साथ साथ जस्ट, इजी एंड एफोर्डेबल क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस भी सुनिश्चित करवाएंगे.
The Modi government transformed the Look East policy into Act East, forging deeper ties in Southeast Asia. India's engagement with ASEAN nations has grown through trade, security, and cultural exchanges. From maritime security to counter-terrorism, India's strategic partnership with countries like Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam have strengthened regional stability. The reopening of Nalanda University with support from East Asian nations symbolizes India's soft power. While the Act East policy of Modi government strengthened ties in the East, the Link West policy has transformed India's relations with West Asia, a region vital for energy and diaspora. PM Modi's personal diplomacy with UAE, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, among other countries, has secured investments, energy deals and protection for Indian workers.
भारत और यूएई का रिश्ता एक अभूतपूर्व ऊंचाई पर पहुंच रहा है. हम एक दूसरे की प्रोग्रेस में पार्टनर हैं. हमारा रिश्ता टैलेंट का है, इनोवेशन का है, कल्चर का है. बीते समय में हमने हर दिशा में अपने संबंधों को नई ऊर्जा दी है. आज यूएई भारत का तीसरा बड़ा ट्रेड पार्टनर है।
The inauguration of first Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi in 2024 was a landmark in cultural diplomacy, while Qatar's release of 8 Indian Navy personnel showcased India's diplomatic clout. India's strategic partnership with the US, Russia and Japan, among other major global powers, has redefined its global role. The US-India relationship soared with PM Modi's 2023 state visit and address to Congress, cementing defense and tech ties. With Russia, India maintained a delicate balance, securing defense supplies and over 100 billion in trade by 2024. Japan's investments in India's infrastructure like the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project highlights a strong and robust partnership. India's leadership in quadrilateral security dialogue, Quad, with the US, Japan and Australia has shaped the Indo-Pacific strategic landscape. Revived in 2017, the Quad counters China's assertiveness through maritime security and joint initiatives.
हमारी बैठक ऐसे समय हो रही है जब विश्व तनावों और संघर्षों से घिरा हुआ है। ऐसे में साझा डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज के आधार पर क्वाड का मिलकर साथ चलना पूरी मानवता के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हम किसी के खिलाफ नहीं हैं। हम सभी एक रूल्स बेस्ड इंटरनेशनल ऑर्डर, संप्रभुता और क्षेत्रीय अखंडता के सम्मान और सभी मसलों के शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से हल निकालने का समर्थन करते हैं। फ्री, ओपन, इंक्लूसिव और प्रॉस्परस इंडो पैसिफिक हमारी साझा प्राथमिकता और साझा प्रतिबद्धता है।
India's security and growth for all in the region, or SAGAR vision, complements the Quad, promoting a free and open Indo-Pacific.
Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi had made a clarion call of SAGAR in 2015, security and growth for all in the region. And building on this legacy over the last 10 years, the vision has been rightly elevated to Mahasagar, or mutual and holistic advancement of security and growth across regions. This is reflective of India's growing stakes and steadfast conviction that our destiny as a nation lies in reclaiming our oceanic opportunities as the foundation of our future prosperity and global influence.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 95+ foreign visits and 40+ bilateral visits have built personal rapport with global leaders. From receiving Bhutan's Order of Druk Gyalpo to Russia's Order of St. Andrews the Apostle, his diplomacy has earned global recognition.
Prime Minister Modi is the boss.
Engagements with the Indian diaspora, like addressing over 60,000 people at Wembley Stadium in 2015, have strengthened cultural ties. During the COVID-19 pandemic, India emerged as a global first responder through Vaccine Maitri, supplying medicines and vaccines to over 100 countries. This initiative showcased India's humanitarian leadership and soft power. India has also emerged as a key player in global humanitarian aid, reflecting its foreign policy commitment to international solidarity. Notable operations including Operation Sindoor, providing critical assistance to Turkey and Syria after the 2023 earthquakes, and Operation Maitri, offering extensive support to Nepal post 2015 earthquakes. In 2025, India has allocated over $800 million for developmental grants, with a significant increase for African countries, underscoring its dedication to fostering global partnerships and addressing humanitarian needs. These efforts not only provide immediate relief but also strengthen diplomatic relations, positioning India as a responsible global leader, enhancing its influence in regions like Africa and South Asia.
Our policies and conduct have emerged as a source of strength for the stressed and vulnerable nations of the world. They can see that there is at least one major nation that truly believes in making vaccines accessible and affordable to others in dire need.
India's leadership in climate action shown through the International Solar Alliance co-founded with France in 2015. Promoting renewable energy, the ISA has gained a global traction, positioning India as a green leader.
In 2015, the ISA began as a small sapling. It was a moment of hope and aspiration. Today, it is growing into giant tree, inspiring policy and action. In such a short time, the membership of ISA has reached a milestone of 100 countries.
PM Modi's government has leveraged India's cultural heritage from yoga to Ayurveda to enhance its soft power. Events like International Yoga Day and diaspora engagements have strengthened India's global connect. Perhaps the boldest shift in India's foreign policy has been the dehyphenation of India-Pakistan relations. By isolating and exposing Pakistan diplomatically, especially after incidents like Pahalgam and Pulwama terror attack, India not only mobilized international support but also took action to destroy terror infrastructure deep inside Pakistan, in setting a future course of action against terror by changing its policy by terming any future acts of terror against its people as an act of war against the country.